Welcome to the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular, featuring live plays, contests, and we'd like to thank our sponsors and our special guests, and we hope that you enjoy.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joey Evans.
I'm Camilla.
Hi, I'm Z Garcia. Hello, Smorgasbord. Let me tell you about a smorgasbord. It's kind of like a buffet, but they spell it differently.
No one says
Wow.
buffet,
I disagree.
except for Kenny.
Kenny says buffet.
Okay, I've heard
Yeah.
it many a time. Kenny is a
Kenny's
buffet hound.
Fan of the
Yes.
buffets.
Shops
like
at
buffets.
Target. I love
All right, folks, welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. So this show is all about GenCon today.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff we're going to talk about GenCon. Our news is from GenCon. Our top three is GenCon, and the rest of it, we're talking about GenCon. But if you haven't gone, it's fine, because there's a gazillion games heading your way.
a lot.
That's not
So
an
many.
exaggeration. But maybe you don't want to go to GenCon. Maybe you want to go to a con where you can just
pretty
play
crowded.
games.
Ooh, where could one go to do
I have
such a
no
thing?
idea. Do those
What?
exist?
Dice
That'd
Tower
be
West
amazing.
registration is open now.
Hello.
DiceTowerWest.com. Dice Tower West was fantastic this past year for people who could talk.
Was.
Aw, buddy. Oh, you got to play a lot of Nyctophobia, though.
I had a lot of suits.
You did.
That's true. I should have went around like the mind and.
I know, yeah. Just show games you're not supposed to speak in, yeah.
Right.
All right, but anyway, yes, get your registration. Get it now. It's going to be better than last year, and the games get better every year. Because they don't get worse. But what I mean is, all the good games from previous years are still there.
They exist.
That's
still.
true.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we
they don't
weeded
roll-
out
I
the
see
bad
what you're
ones.
They
saying.
don't rotate them out.
No, we
Well,
should
if you
though.
do, you rotate out the ones people don't want to play.
I'm just saying, old games that are good don't rotate out. If
No.
this was Magic the Gathering, they'd rotate out the good games
Agreed.
from years before, but they don't.
No.
It's great.
Alrighty, I think that's my news. That's going on. Is there other news? I don't think so. Let's get to the news.
News.
Actual news. Is.
I got that
Yes,
right?
it is
Yeah.
August 10th.
Yeah,
Scared me for a
Wow.
second.
It's like August 10th.
All right, let's start with big stuff here. Goats Day Out
What?
Oh.
from Think Fun.
Oh my gosh.
This
that is
the
such an accurate picture
brainy.
of goats.
Yeah, I heard that goats are like the worst.
That's why you rent them. You don't buy them.
Wait,
What?
were you the person telling us a story about someone who rented a goat? and
Yeah.
ate
Yeah,
everything?
you- yeah.
Yes. Okay. We drove for a lot of hours, folks,
Got lots
to
of
get to
stories.
GenCon. Many things were said. Many of them involved goats.
Didn't know there was a goat conversation.
Let's move on.
See what you're
No
missing?
regrets.
I missed the van.
Anyway, there's a
Pretty sad.
jailbreak in a local petting zoo, and hungry goats are running downtown. So
That's
you
a
need
sheep.
to. What goat will eat the most? Will their appetites ever be satisfied?
No.
Will the chaos never end?
No, well.
No.
It's an 8+ game. I don't know much more about it.
But you don't really need to, though. There's goats rampaging.
Got it. Here's a
love
more
it.
interesting game, I think, from Think Fun called Meat
Not
Mahjong.
possible.
Meat?
Meat,
Mahjong?
like,
Oh, okay, good.
No,
Oof,
okay.
that's a lot better.
That would be really
I definitely
fun.
thought it was going to be like a Lady Gaga
No,
dance.
this is a learn to play.
Oh.
Wait, what's that bridge game that they made?
A bridge.
Bridge.
A bridge? Oh, that was not very good, actually. That bombed like
Yeah, it
all
did
get
bomb
out.
quite badly, but yeah, it was the idea was the same as this: learn to play bridge well, and I guess this is learn to play mahjong well.
Actually, there's not a lot of things out there like this. Mahjong sets exist all over the place.
Sure.
Right.
But there's not a lot of people in America who know anything about the game other than it shows up in movies occasionally.
No,
Right,
Joey doesn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
a thing about it.
I don't. And the thing that came up, I don't know when, recently, I'm like, I want to learn it. It's one of those that I always see in
Well,
movies.
they heard you.
Oh,
And they're very serious. Yes,
this is
thank
for
you.
you.
I think
Thank
you need to
you.
wait on Meet Mahjong Junior, Joey.
I would
What
do
is
that.
the difference?
Pocket size.
What's the difference between Chinese and American Mahjong?
I don't even know how to play Mahjong, so I would not know.
It's the. I don't know.
I think
don't
there's
know.
different. There's just different
I have no idea.
sets. You score different sets. Chinese Mahjong, I'm assuming, is much more complicated, more sets. You probably go to the right instead of the left.
So like dumb it down, water it down, we'll say. For us.
For
I'm
Americans.
assuming here.
And there's probably
checks out.
food in the American one.
That's right.
All right. Mighty Boards is a game come out called Art Society.
Ooh.
That's nice.
Interesting.
That
I
looks
like
cool,
that.
but
that.
I am so wary of Mighty Board games.
Is that
They're
a
often
banana?
overly complicated.
I would take a banana right
That's
now.
for scale.
Look at that.
Oh.
It's the lady with the funky earring. It's a ferret petting lady. It's
The picture in the top right is the Japanese wave one. I
The
like
wave,
I like
yes.
that picture.
Oh,
a
these
lot.
are real pictures?
some of them are like inspired by.
I think that girl with the earring is definitely different than the
Yeah,
actual
no,
painting.
they're all different. Yeah, the wave is also different.
Interesting.
Banana's different.
Why are you nervous about Mighty Boards?
I don't like most of their games. They're very
Okay.
mechanical, very, very dry and mathy.
Oh,
Okay.
lost me at math.
Like art.
Well, let me just pull up a Mighty Boards.
Go ahead, look it up.
Mighty Boards has done in the past, and a lot of people like them. Mike likes Mighty Boards. Excavation Earth, which I did not particularly care for. Oh, I did like Petrichor. That was a good one.
No, Mike likes Vengeance a lot.
Mike liked Vengeance. Hamlet. You guys played Hamlet, not me.
Post-Human is theirs.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I
interesting.
might be wrong.
Okay.
Maybe this will be absolutely fantastic.
I like that cover. A lot to unpack.
I'll try it. I'll
That
try
is
it.
nice.
Okay, good, good.
Oh, that's very big of you.
You convinced me.
Pete
All
Shire
right.
says he's still full from the deli.
What's
Tom.
up, Pete?
Yeah, I get that.
Jerk.
The Academy. Mike says Mike's headline is Amigo contributes to the trick-taking renaissance.
Oh. Is
Okay.
that Mike's or is that Corey's? I thought Corey did those.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Between the two of them, they're trying to make trick-taking renaissance happen. It's not happening.
Please no.
I did not see people all over GenCon playing trick-taking games. It was not happening.
That's a good point.
People play them, but it's not like a renaissance. It's a very different thing. Anyway, this is a 3 to 4 player, and you'll have different roles each round. There's 8 different roles, I guess. There's mastermind, captain, team player, rebel, etc.
Just like Citadels meets trick-taking, it sounds like.
Sounds fun.
Mike's
And
bring
that
up
cover
Shapiro's.
is absolutely terrible. I don't like it at all.
Shapiro's was good, Mike. Thank you.
I don't know that I like Amigo's big red stripe on the bottom of their things with the big number at the top. I feel like they plaster too much stuff on their games.
They're also small normally, so
They are,
I mean, it
which
does
makes
that
it
make
big
worse.
red band is not that big, you know?
And if they all go together and it kind of gives them a look, it's fine, but... Oh,
All right, well, the next one from Amigo is Kabanga.
That's fun to say.
kabanga.
3 to 6 players are trying to ditch cards without collecting penalties from other players.
Is it a trick-taking game?
You're putting cards
Renaissance
in
going on.
you're placing a card next to a matching row card in the middle with as small of a difference as possible.
Okay.
Because if you leave a large number gap, another player will call Kabanga,
And they slide in between
and they'll throw
them.
a card with values in between them,
Done.
and
Yep.
then the player has to draw that many cards from the penalty pile.
Ouch. Okay, so it kind of sounds like 6 Nimmt and things like that.
6 nipped with Uno a bit, but
Yeah, Uno Nimmt. 6 Unos.
The next game from Amigo is
Wow.
there's 3.
There's a 3
There's
bus.
a 3, but thank you. I couldn't
Is that
pronounce
just a little... Oh, that's meant to look like a zebra. I thought I was trying to spell something like WNA above
It's,
the 3E.
wait, what?
It's like zebra hair.
Yeah, I
Excuse
see
me.
that now. I thought I was
Oh.
trying to spell something.
It's a spin on a card game called Golf,
Oh, got
where
it.
you're
golf.
ditching
Another
cards to lower your score.
Lordy.
Why is the zebra green?
I did
It's
play golf.
Cabo. Cabo is based on golf.
I think that might be a slight optical illusion. I know that black and white, when close together, can create a greenish look.
What?
It's funny. I see
Then
gold.
why's the
and
other one
gray.
look blue?
That joke is out of
it's
date.
painted green
Out of
and
date here.
Thank
know,
you.
it
But
stinks.
why?
And
We're
that
still
one's
on-
purple. The last one's purple also.
We're still an Amigo.
See that violet?
I do
Slight
a
violet.
little bit.
There's a lot of Amigo news.
Zauber's
So far,
word.
I like-
Zauber's word. This is.
So far, I want the goat game.
Oh, I want this one.
This looks a little like a card game version of Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
So
With dwarves or
cool.
elves.
This can be played at different levels of difficulty and can be played competitively in addition to cooperatively.
I'm all about that.
Yep.
Okay.
Magic Mountain was fun though because it had things that rolled
Marbles?
down.
Yeah.
You take the marbles out. Is the game still fun?
No.
You can still throw marbles at this.
You
What?
could.
I'm sure you could.
All right, Mindbug, the Richard Garfield game, is being brought to us by Ghost Galaxy. So it was kickstarted and kickstarted again, and now Ghost Galaxy, who is the new Christian Peterson company, and did Keyforge, now has Mindbug.
They actually had these at GenCon.
Did they?
This set,
Oh.
Yeah.
Should have got one.
Well, you messed
Shut
up.
up.
Well, you didn't get one.
No. I didn't. I would have had to go over there and buy one.
I
didn't.
too did not get one.
I am Mindbug.
Yeah,
You
it
like
was-
this game a lot, don't you, Tom?
I think
Tom
it's very
likes it
good.
a lot. I like it a lot. They had them over there. I was certainly tempted. I just didn't pick one up. I didn't buy one. But
It's like Magic the Gathering in 18 cards.
yeah.
Oh.
It's a nice little box now. It's about that big.
I like the art.
The art's fun. There's a promo for this one, too.
We have 2 promos, if I'm not mistaken,
We have
don't
2
we?
good promos for it.
Yes,
I
we
don't know.
do.
All right, this next one has a beautiful box cover from Pegasus. Yes, Pegasus makes other games. Havalandi. This is a roll and move game. There's a hot air balloon at the top, and you roll the die and move it that many spaces clockwise around the triangle. Then place a totem of your color on any empty hex in one of the lines that comes from that balloon's space.
Oh, interesting. What?
Wait, what?
This looks like a game from 1990,
Roll and
though, doesn't it?
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you roll and move,
Yeah.
and then wherever you ended up in that line that emanates from your piece, you drop off a piece.
A token, yeah.
It's very kingdom builder.
But you can also put a token next to one of your tokens as long as it's in the same region. So you can branch out too.
It's very kingdom builder with a roll and move mechanism.
I like the cover and everything.
like
I'm just,
the cover
I'm just
a
worried
lot.
that
Cover,
game looks
yeah.
like an old game.
I'm all about old games.
Who's a designer?
You know, I don't necessarily mind it having that old feel if it's still done well. Like there's something kind of nostalgic about that, having
Yeah.
the games like that feel old but done well.
Oh, it's Reiner Knizia. All right.
It is?
Yeah.
So I
it's-
guarantee you it's good then, okay?
Oh, that's why Mike was asking.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, who's the designer, Tom?
Oh, was he saying that?
Okay, was.
I couldn't read it on the box. It wasn't in the type, so it must not have been important.
He
It
should
definitely
use
sounds like a Knizia game.
he should use caps
It
next
looks
time.
like a Knizia game, too.
All right.
All right, cool. That
It's
might
good
be
news
good.
coming.
Interesting.
Yes, hang on.
Huh?
War of the Ring, the card game. We had this announced in our mega announcement
yes.
thread in the Summer Spectacular. There's the cover for it. Looks very cool.
That looks good.
I would like to enter the Lord of the Rings universe just to see all the cool statues. I think they're neat.
But you might die, though.
I would be surrounded by dwarves at all times.
Who hate you. Bro.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
they're like, look at this weird tall freak. Let us end him.
Dwarves don't do that.
They don't?
don't know.
Maybe you
Pretty sure
find a
they're
band
angry
of
fellas.
hateful dwarves.
I'm pretty sure.
All right, moving on. Marrakech has an expansion coming. Which box is it for? Is it for the big giant box or the smaller box? I don't know.
Marrakech. I don't think I've played Marrakech.
August 14th.
You have not. No one here has played
4
Marrakech.
days.
It's been sitting on our shelf for ages. But it
Is it a
got
Reiner
more...
Knizia game?
No, it's Feld.
Okay.
Does it have goats? No.
I do
I
like
think it has
goats.
camels.
Ooh, and I'm back in.
Okay.
All right, Martin Wallace. Now this kind of blew my mind. I forgot that last year Martin Wallace started a publishing company
You did, huh?
called Wallace Design. So Martin Wallace
Nice
started
cover.
a company a long time ago called War Frog.
Tree Frog?
No, War Frog was
Frog.
first.
And then Tree Frog, right.
But then he made some games that weren't war games, so they changed it to Tree Frog.
yes.
Then there was a whole bunch of stuff with taxes going on, and Martin Wallace was like, running a publishing company, too much work, I'm just going to design.
Yes.
A decade later, he was like, just kidding,
I'm back.
publishing my own games again. I'm not going to hire an artist, though. We're just going to have a cover. Bloodstones. It's not a bad cover.
I like
No.
that cover, actually. It's very
Simple.
minimalistic,
Yeah.
but I
It
like
is,
that
yeah.
cover.
All right, this game is coming at the end of 2023. Hopefully, it's a fantasy war game for 1 to 6 players, which has 6 different races. Each one
that
has
it?
its own powers.
That's not it.
No, we went to Colossus. We're back. We're still on the Bloodstones.
Okay.
Did I skip
Wonder
the other
what's
one?
next.
No, I didn't.
So excited.
Anyway, you can be the Hill Folk or the Dragon Riders. You want to have the most victory points. Arrange your tiles in stacks. Okay, I stopped caring. But we'll see.
You can be hill folk. What's wrong with you? That's great.
No, it is interesting. I'm
The
not
hills
reading all the
are alive.
mechanisms.
Are alive with the sound of slashing.
All right, anyway, the next news nobody was expecting because unnecessary. Colossal Cat and
Colossal.
Fox.
Oh my.
So I saw this and looked at it at GenCon, and it actually is very nice. The cards, though, are literally the same size as the cards from the original game.
Well, they would be. It's standard deck of
I
cards.
want...
Like tarot cards?
Like you want the
Tarot
cards
cards.
to be
I
colossal?
don't. That'd be terrible.
The rest looks good.
Is it just a larger edition?
Yeah.
Or is it?
It's mostly a larger edition, but that board in the middle has new ways to play put in it. Like, for example, you see that way has some like little white spots.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you can... Something like if you land on one of those spots or you can cross to the other one. I don't know. There's something about that. Or they're connected to each other. Something to that effect.
What about the kitty cat?
That comes in the game.
Oh.
I know that.
Is
Is
that
it like a
like
first player
that's
marker or something?
I don't know. I just know it comes in the game.
Why don't you have these
I
answers?
need it.
I know it comes in the box.
I need it.
Also, those pieces are really nice, and they no longer look... Two of them don't look the same as the original game.
They look
nice.
like Azul pieces a little bit.
I like when they come with those little trays too.
Yeah.
They're a little
Some
clear. They're like
organization.
acrylic plastic. Yeah. It's
That's
nice.
cool.
And that box is the size of Ticket to Ride. I just don't know.
Oh wow!
Oh my
That's a
gosh.
lot bigger
Never
than I
mind.
thought.
Is it that big?
It is. I saw it.
I thought it was going to like that habitat size up there or
Oh.
something like
Oh
that.
gosh.
Wow,
I thought it was
what?
like Colossal was like a little bigger
Yeah.
at best. Carcassonne on its side.
It has
Ticket
the word
to Ride.
Colossal on it.
Well, maybe it would be the size of Western Legends from Colossal Games.
That's with a K.
I don't know how to spell that.
I didn't think it'd be that big. I don't know.
Wow.
All right. In news that excited all of us,
Okay,
or
let's
most
see.
of us, Horrified.
Yes.
Buddy.
Yes.
The Greek version of Horrified coming.
Yes.
With Greek monsters.
Oh.
Yes.
This news was
Oh,
officially
Greek.
announced like a couple days ago, but it leaked last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was Geek Monsters. Never mind.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Alrighty, so lots of cool monsters in here. The Medusa,
Hades?
Chimera, Minotaur.
Siren.
Yeah, similar to the Mist. Uncovering the layers comes with a cost. You have to discard 3 color items before the layer token can be flipped over to see what monster's hideout you've landed in. So it sounds like there's some small rules changes.
That might be my favorite cover so far.
It's really
called
cool.
the
This
New Layers
seems like
mechanic.
a fun version of
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm more interested. It's weird. Like the Americana one, I was just like,
I
it's
was
okay.
fine on.
But this one, I'm more interested in these monsters.
I still like the original, but this one
Have you played Terrified?
Yes, I do love that one. If that
bet you
existed,
would.
that would be my number one. But that's
It does
Terrified
exist.
is a
You
made-up
played it.
version we have in the Dice Tower library with Freddy Krueger and It and other monsters
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
Chucky.
Not
Chucky's
allowed
in
in
it.
real life.
It'll never
Okay,
be.
no.
It'll never exist.
All right. Hey, the One Ring card has been bought by Post Malone
Post
for
Malone.
$2.6 million.
It's a steal.
That straight up looks like a drug deal.
Actually, it looks like that guy's he's pulling off the Bruce Willis from Die Hard look. It's not too far off.
Yeah, what's he going for? He's wearing an undershirt
Oh.
and he's got his hair really slicked back.
Also, he knew he was going to be filmed,
Oh, what's that behind him?
right?
Is
It's
that
not like he showed up and was like,
Well, no,
"Whoops,
I don't think he was.
forgot a
I think
shirt."
this is a behind the scenes. I mean, he went behind. From what I read, he went to a Post Malone concert and they talked behind the scenes. Post Malone's like, "I'll buy your card right now," and he's like, "Done deal."
he brought his card with him to the concert?
I don't know. He didn't hide,
Okay.
but I guess he
it
told
was,
me
in
he
a
had the
safe,
card.
it was in a safe Dropbox.
It was.
Yeah, he did.
He
that.
did the smart thing. He did the thing I would have done. Is he went found a bank with a safe deposit box, put it in, hired a lawyer immediately.
Wow.
It's a wise
Yeah.
move. Unfortunately for him, he lives in Canada, which means they're taking
Wow.
40%.
Oh, there's more.
They're taking 40%.
What?
Yeah, man.
What?
Oh.
Why didn't he move
way.
first?
Oh my goodness.
It's worth it.
I know, right? You're
I've
getting,
always wanted to live in the Cayman Islands.
if you're getting that much money, you can move first, then move back after the deal's done. I'm just saying.
That's
Oh,
kind of
man.
insane,
I
honestly.
said 2.6. I guess it's only 2. Maybe they
No, I thought
Oh,
it was
he got ripped
2.6
off.
was the news. 2.6 is what I heard.
That's crazy.
But I mean, the Canadian government just broke his arm off.
So Canada found the magic card.
Lordy.
Yikes. That,
Yeah, the government's
that
like,
hurts.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Publish
Yeah.
more.
Wowza.
Oof.
Alrighty, well, let's start talking about GenCon news. Speaking of valuable things, a couple of dudes, and here they are. If you know who they are, turn them in.
That
Stole a pallet of cards. We don't.
Meet him in a dark alley.
I don't know what kind of cards. I'm assuming they're magic cards. because they said it was 300,000. That's a pretty small pound of $300,000 cards.
I will
Yeah.
tell you what, if no one cosplays as these two next year, I'll be disappointed.
I thought it was Larkana.
That's a
Maybe
bad
I heard
idea.
wrong.
No, Larkana.
See, I
No,
disagree
so-
on that because these guys are real
have they
evil
caught 'em yet?
guys. I
Have they
don't,
actually-
I don't think so.
Did
So
I
the
miss it?
Larkana thing, it was people suspected
That-
it was Larkana.
Oh.
But
It was
then
magic.
Ravensburger came out and said, "Our product is accounted for, everybody.
Got
It's not
it. Okay.
us."
Also, that's
I
not
never heard.
300,000 of Lorcana. I don't care how much the stuff is
No,
worth.
no, no.
That's-
Yeah, I don't know what's
Okay.
in there, but it's kind of unbelievable. These people showed up with a pallet jack and walked up to a pallet,
That I can't believe
worked it,
the
boom,
guts.
got bounced out of there.
That's a
Here's-
better picture of the
It's
guy on the
all
right
the
than I've
attitude.
seen, because one I saw he had like sunglasses
These
on.
people are
and
pretty recognizable.
you would
Somebody
think
should know who
from
these
those
people
photos, yeah.
Here's the thing. I was talking to some publishers, and they're saying they think next year it's going to be harder for us to get
That's
in
the
and out of that
thing.
hall. They're going to have much stronger
Makes sense.
security. And
are.
everything.
I'm all
But I mean-
for it.
Where did they get it from? The back loading dock?
I guess
Well,
they
that's-
walked up to
Because
some.
the exhibit
yeah.
hall's pretty
That-
tied down.
That is what's interesting is they don't have exhibitor tags on,
Right.
and they were checking exhibitor
They were
tags.
checking it tight,
So I mean,
too.
if they just up security, that's oof.
That's a lapse.
Anyway, these people may not have stolen it. Says they're possibly involved, even though the one guy is definitely pulling a ballot.
Might not have been me.
He would have come forward and said, "Look, guys, it's not me." Oh, I would have. You saw that picture everywhere.
Jeez.
Wow.
All right, let's
Good to know that
continue
we're
on
like
now.
on camera there. I didn't know we were being recorded.
We're going to talk about. Oh, that's going to make Mike sad because that money is not falling on his, but it's falling on my screen. See the money falling?
Oh, it's
What?
beautiful.
Okay. Well, anywho,
Well, that is nice.
we're talking about this now because I don't want to waste our conversation later
Right.
about Larkana. But we have to talk about Larkana. It's the
Yep.
biggest thing I've ever seen that was released at GenCon since I've started going. I've been going for 10 years plus, and it was insane. There was humongous lines. They did not prepare well on Thursday for the first day.
No.
Look, Ravensburger had a booth that was right inside one of the main doors that people went in. And it was a fairly small booth. I would say it was like a 20 by 30.
Pretty tiny, yeah.
Not particularly large. They had another room where you could go and play the game, but to buy the game you had to go in there. So people started lining up. There was no quick lines, and it was chaos the first day.
I will tell you, it's neat to see it when things like this transcend out of gaming. Like my wife is huge on every day. It's Disney blogs, Disney. Our family's Disney. The next day, every Disney blog was talking about mobs at Gen Con, and they made it sound a lot worse than I think it was.
Yeah, I don't think
but
it was as bad, but it wasn't good.
Every one of those Disney blogs were about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so it
Interesting.
transcended out of that.
Now, whose fault it is, I don't know.
No.
I don't understand how both Ravensburger and Gen Con did not realize how big this would be. I
Right.
knew it was going to be big.
Yeah.
And they had
Disney
no
fans.
way for lines. Then people were cut off. And there was a lot of miscommunication. Some people left very unhappy. But on the flip side, some people left happy because they started selling stuff for gouged prices. On our next slide, you see some eBay stuff here. For some of the prices, look at that
Jeez.
promo card, $1,300. Now, those promo cards have dropped down in value tremendously.
So you also don't know that it's sold
$5
that.
for
That's what it's
shipping. You don't
listed.
give them free shipping.
But I looked up
At the sold?
sold cards, and they were definitely selling for $400 or $500.
Great, that's what I
at
said.
the
That's what I
beginning.
saw. It was
Good
400
For one
Lord.
not 1,300.
To be fair, the One Ring was $2.6 million.
There was also one ring. There are thousands of
That
these.
is interesting. I wonder if there's thousands if you did the math.
Click Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, there
If
is.
the
Does he do
actual
stuff too?
is it comparable?
Oh, I
That's
don't
what
know.
I'm saying. Like if you did, that'd be interesting. We need the stats on that.
Well, I don't think it's comparable in the sense that I don't think people. I'm going to talk more about this next week because this is our topic for next week's Smorgasbord. But I do not. I won't be here next week for Smorgasbord. When I come back, I don't like the fact that people go in, grab product, and sell it immediately.
I agree.
Cutting out people who actually just want to play the game.
Oh, scalper
Yes,
cards.
capitalistic. I despise scalpers. Someone told me that at one of the booths, at the booth, there was one person putting the listing up on eBay while buying the product.
Well, weren't you saying
Oh.
when Alex was getting it, people were like reaching into her
Into
bag to try to
and
steal
it was like
it?
neat. They were. It was crazy.
Right.
But see, even at
I would've
Disney,
kicked
they
their
release popcorn
kneecaps.
buckets, and people sell them as they're buying them.
It's
It's
just,
yeah.
It's just
look, I get it, but also it's so gross and predatory. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know.
It's incredible. This happened with video game consoles when they came out. The PlayStation
Yes.
and the Xbox were like being scalped left and right. And now here comes a Disney card game. And because it's a little hard to get right now, people feel the need to start slashing tires, and just like buying it up and listing it and trying to make a quick buck before it drops in 3 weeks.
It really
Right,
is just a
and it
terrible
will.
look for like the whole, I don't know, industry. I mean, this whole hobby that we love and enjoy. Like, it has turned me off of Larkana. I was like, oh, cool, okay, I enjoy Disney, CCGs, I'm fine, whatever. I wasn't super excited about it, but now I want nothing to do with it. It's so disgusting to me. It's just like the people have ruined this, and I think give a really bad name and look for the hobby behind it. It's really frustrating.
When does it release fully? Somebody
Like
asked.
in a week or two?
See, that's what's crazy.
Right.
If it was like 6 months ahead,
No,
I
there's
would
still
wouldn't
terrible
see
people.
It.
No,
Right,
no.
but it's like 2 weeks out.
Right.
I'm not turned off from the game itself. I'm not blaming people. I'm not blaming the game for people's nonsense. The magic, and this happens with other games too. And we'll be reviewing it next week, actually. We'll talk about the game itself. And we're not selling ours for ludicrous prices.
We got good prices on it.
No.
Free shipping.
So look at this, though. Look at this next slide here. So GenCon set up these stanchions the next day, then on Friday, but I lie. They set them up Thursday, and you could line up Thursday starting
had
at
that.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. The hall didn't open till 10.
So that you had
AM,
to stand in there
AM.
for 16 hours.
Doesn't make any
People
sense.
slept overnight. No game is worth that.
No.
Oh, and on top of that,
Again,
they
this
were,
is not the game. Nobody's waiting in line that many hours because they're getting, well, maybe not nobody.
I
Okay,
think
I'm
some
sorry, but
people
like
are, yeah.
many other people there are not waiting 16 hours to play Lorcana. They're waiting 16 hours to make a grand or whatever.
You're giving up an entire day of Gen Con. You got a 4-day pass, or maybe some of these people got a 1-day pass.
here's the thing. They also, and many of them did because they would clip your badge.
Yeah.
They buy 4 one-day passes rather than 1 4-day pass so they could go every day.
And then, look here, the next slide, you see the line went all the way down the hall, and the next slide went outside. I was sitting there praying for rain.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any
Why?
sense. I have not seen that photo.
I mean, the one,
That's insane.
The one good thing I'll say, and maybe this was better for our discussion later, but the one good thing is the halls, or not the hall, the actual exhibit hall was really crowded. So at least that was that many more people not trying to go down.
That's fair.
But
Yeah.
do you-
It did take the pressure off a little bit, even though it was still.
Do you
shoulder
think
to
they would
shoulder.
have came if Lorcana had not been released? Do you think that's...
I
do you
think some of the
I
people
think.
would have.
I mean.
But do you think some of them came for just this?
Yes.
Yes, I think
100%.
anyone that got a 1-day
Okay.
badge is coming and in that line knows that they're there just for that. Absolutely. There's no way because they couldn't get through it quick enough to do anything else.
Huh. That's...
In other news, Ravensburger just made serious bank.
Yes.
And Upper Deck is crying. All right, Gen Con's attendance. They didn't announce exact attendance. They just said
Because of Fire Marshal.
it. Yeah, they said it's over 70,000. The previous record was almost 70,000. This is up 29% from last year, where they had
Lord.
50,000. Did you
It's
not?
almost a third more people.
Did you not
That's
notice?
Oh, I
insane.
felt
felt
it.
it.
Oh, it was-
it was crazy.
It was.
I remember Thursday morning already. I was like, "What is happening?"
Right.
I
I
remember...
walked over to a booth that was like, I don't know, 2-3 booths away from us. I tried to go over to Elf Creek, and
Yeah.
it took me 4 minutes to walk
Yeah.
15 paces or something.
I did the same
mean,
thing. I was leaving the booth. I said, "Hey, Mike, I'm gonna grab whatever this game was." I got halfway, came back. He goes, "You get it?" I go, "I gave up."
I didn't make
Halfway
it.
through,
Right. Yeah.
I couldn't move.
A lot of times, we go to these conventions and you need a break, and it's like, oh, hey, I'm going to go take a 10-minute break, and you leave. I was going to the booth to take breaks because that's the only place that you could breathe and not touch people.
Yeah.
It was
crazy.
so crowded.
Even upstairs, I went upstairs, which is usually like a dead zone. Upstairs was pretty crowded.
Yeah, it was.
I still found it. I sat on a bench at one point, just fell asleep for like 30 minutes. I
we
was
got,
so tired.
Yeah, we got a picture.
On the bench? No one saw that.
No one saw that.
Wait, what?
You have a picture
No.
No, the van.
of the van?
Oh, no, I thought you were saying when you were sleeping in the middle of the hall on your phone, you fell asleep on your phone. Sleeping publicly on the bench.
Who took that picture?
You fell asleep in the hall?
Yes.
Wow, it was crowded.
I was upstairs. It was quieter up there.
Oh, got it.
No one should have been around.
Oh, really? Oh, let's talk again about these numbers. Only
Where is this
70,000
picture?
people saw it. Don't worry
Oh,
about
my
it.
goodness.
Did you see Tom Vassell at GenCon? I did, but he was sleeping, so I didn't interrupt him.
Mid-scroll on his phone, his thumb was like still twitching.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Let's move on to semi-exciting news. So Renegade Game Studios,
Ooh.
who has a bunch of Hasbro licenses and a bunch of Hasbro games, and they're like, hey, what if we mix them? So
Yes.
we're getting, on the good side of things, we're getting a G.I. Joe Axis and Allies. I'm actually very much looking forward to that.
That finally makes sense.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
On the weird side of things, we're getting a Transformer Robo Rally. I'm less interested in that. Robo Rally, they just move around and like bump into each other. That's
They're
not
programmed. How
That's not
like
Transformers.
Transformers are like the programming's glitching? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because like in their press release, they're like, I cannot think of a more perfect combination. I'm like, what?
Can't you?
That's press release. Anyway,
I know that Eric Sommer was excited because they were mixing. They were doing like Transformers and not Hello Kitty, My Little Pony, and they were like coming out with like they have deck building games for Transformers and for Hello Kitty
Like a
for
smash-up
My Little
kind of
Pony,
thing?
and they were like packs you could get that would put one in the other one or whatever. He was excited about it. I don't know.
here's
Wow.
the thing.
Don't make me room with that
maybe the
weird guy
Robo
again.
Rally game is different. They're saying that it's based on Robo Rally, and you're moving through a city or you're moving through Velocitron.
Velocitron.
And you
That's
can
a fun
convert
word.
between bot and alt modes to better navigate the many roads, buildings, and obstacles.
Sweet truck.
Like, you could turn into a plane and avoid everything. That's,
I'd be doing
Oh,
that.
interesting.
That is all.
I love Transformers, but I always thought, one guy's like, I'm a jet. The other guy's like, I'm a tape recorder.
I know. And the movie's trying to
A
make it cool.
moped.
The movie's all like, yes, that's really cool. You can eject tapes. Like, but the other guy's a jet.
That guy's a big gun. Isn't one of the dudes a Vespa or something?
Which one?
Didn't one of the Transformers become a Vespa or something?
Yes.
There's all kinds of
That's so
stuff.
sad, dude.
that is.
That's so sad.
That is. That's,
One of them's an attack chopper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude's a Vespa.
There was a lot of announcements from Direwolf.
Yes, there was.
Yes.
So the most
Good ones.
interesting announcement is this Dune Imperium Uprising, which is a great cover. This is a standalone sequel to Dune Imperium, in which both of the expansions work. They say as well as most of the cards from the base game. It's hard for me to tell much more, and I didn't ask more questions than we probably should have.
Yeah, we should have.
But we saw the picture of the board. It looked almost identical to the original board, and in fact, this
Right.
feels almost like an updated version
A
of the
2.0
game.
type thing. I know. That's what I'm curious
It
about.
doesn't even look like 2.0. It looks more like 1.5.
Right.
I'm excited about it.
But cautious.
I didn't think the original game needed to be fixed or
oh,
anything.
so yeah, I
No.
can't think of any glaring problems in it that one needed to be fixed, and two, so soon it still feels like they're expanding the base game. Not time for like an overhaul. That's interesting.
It just seems strange to come up with a game that is very similar, and in fact, you can mix it mostly.
But like if you have the two and you just have one expansion, do you play it in one and then take all those cards out and play the other?
No, buy an expansion for both. That's what
Or
they
you buy an
want.
expansion for both, or do you get rid of your first? This brings up way too many questions.
Yeah.
I do love that cover, though.
That is fantastic.
I do too.
Whoa,
I love the
that's
top
so
with
good.
the planets, and yeah, there's a lot
is-
happening in the best way possible.
That is really something.
I need to
want
watch
to see
Dune.
this movie.
They also announced a game based on the Wheel of Time. Unfortunately, not the books, but the TV show.
I will say during this announcement, I really felt left out. Did not know anything about the books, the videos, whatever. Have you guys read the books?
You haven't read The
movies?
Wheel of Time?
I've not.
You got to get on that. It's only like 14 books.
You do not need to read the
love
Wheel of
Oh,
Time.
is it?
I'll one up you. I've never heard of it, so.
Okay.
I like it a lot, but the first book is amazing. The second book is great. Third book's great. Fourth book is great. And then suddenly he couldn't stop describing people. It takes a long dip. Then he died.
No, somebody else tried to finish it?
Brandon Sanderson came in and finished it with 3 pretty good books, but they still were like, I'm not kidding, there's probably 1,000 characters. I got them all confused.
I struggle with like 5.
Yeah.
They also all hate each other.
Oh, I like that.
What?
It's like some Game of
So
Thrones
read
stuff.
the first
You're
one
really
and then be like, I'm
selling
good.
this.
If there's it's a really interesting story and a lot of things going on. I like it a lot.
I
but
like Cliff Notes.
all the men think women are undecipherable, and all the women think men are annoying, and all the women hate the other women. And there's like a few friends in the book, but not many. It's just they yell at each other a lot. So anyway,
Okay.
it's very
All right.
popular, and the TV show is. I would recommend watching the TV show.
Over the- okay, I can do that.
There we go. All right,
Okay.
I'm back in.
Anyhow, Direwolf makes great games, so I'm very excited about this regardless. Just like I'm excited about the Invincible game, they showed us some more of that. But I was
Yes.
really excited by the next announcement, and that is their digital things.
These look great.
Direwolf Digital is one of, if not the best
Yes.
I agree.
digital implementation of board games.
When you say digital, you're talking like Steam or apps?
They make both apps for sometimes for like an iPad or whatever, but they come out with stuff on Steam. They come out with
That's great for what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I am.
Clank one looks really good.
Arc Nova, I'm really pumped
Arc
about
Nova,
that.
yes.
Cascadia is going to be great. Clank is going to be great. Even my little Everdell there, I really like that
Yeah.
game.
I feel like
Cats.
Cascadia would probably be my most played, just because I think that would be so
Light.
easily implemented
Oh,
and just
gosh,
like
that's
easy to
quick
get
game,
into.
too.
But Arc Nova, taking a big game like that, and it's kind of how I feel like when Spirit Island did the app. It's like to take that big and just be able to pull it down and not have the setup and clean up and all that. To streamline something that big into this, I'm excited about.
And the Arc Nova looks nice. They had screenshots of it, and it looks really like immersive.
Really?
But of course, they do such a good job with all their
Yeah.
apps.
I don't think I've ever played one of their apps.
Oh, they're good.
What apps have they done?
Yeah, that's what I need.
They did Root.
They did Root, and I
Their
think they
implementation of
did.
Root is amazing.
I think they did Everdell.
Yeah, and then they did did they do the Raiders of the North Sea? Isn't that them too?
That might be them too.
Oh,
All I
okay,
know
I
is
do
if I
like
see
that
their
app.
name on the app, I'm like, this is going to be a good app.
I do like the Raiders
You
one.
know what I mean?
a
Like the
lot.
way they finalize an app is
I'm gonna
great.
play Arc Nova all the time as an app. I'm excited about that.
You gonna sell your copy?
No, I just play it as an app. Also, there's one more that's not on this slide. Dune Imperium.
Oh,
Yeah, that one was good.
really?
Uprising.
Oh, did I skip that one? Was it? No, it wasn't this slide before. Okay. Last piece of news, and if you watch our channel, you already know this. The Dice Tower 16th Annual Gaming Awards were announced. And we did a live show at GenCon, and we put it up on our channel, and all the different publishers showed up for it. It was very exciting all around. So
good
you
time.
can watch that and see that Z hates me.
It does.
I have video proof.
Did I hate you?
You said mean things
all
about
board-
me, made me
the
cry
all
on
board.
stage almost.
When did I do that?
Your skit with Leaf.
Oh, we have it
Oh
on
yeah, oh yeah. It was a skit, Tom. It wasn't real. They
Wasn't
gave
a
me a
skit.
script.
He's just kidding. He
My
loves
tears
rubbing
were
your
also
feet.
not real.
It's his favorite.
All right, so that, folks, is the news.
Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less, and today I want to talk about a couple of options for social deduction games for people who are not good at lying or deceit. If you've played One Night Ultimate Werewolf, it is a very popular social deduction game in which you have different roles you're doing in the night, and then it gets to daytime, and you're supposed to try to vote out who you think the werewolf is. Well, if you are not good at a little bit of deceit, it's not going to go very well when you play this game. We've played this with a few families, and we have struggled during the daytime part of this game because if you don't want to lie, it's not really going to go very well. What has worked better for us is Werewords. In Werewords, it's a word guessing game, but everybody has secret roles like they do in One Night Ultimate Werewolf, and the trick is the werewolf team is trying to have you not guess the secret word, and the village team is trying to guess the secret word. And what's nice about this is you go through, it's just yes or no questions, so everybody gets able to figure that part out really quickly, and it's still fun to get to guess the word. The word itself, you can have custom word lists, you can have different difficulty levels of the list. You can even create your own word list, which we did, which was really easy and fun to do. But then when you are finished guessing, the game isn't over yet. if it gets to morning and if you guess the correct word, then the werewolf can still win if they guess who the seer was on your team, because the seer knew the correct word and is trying to kind of help the villagers guess that word without being too obvious, because if they only ask really great questions, then the werewolf's going to figure out they knew, and if they guess them at the end, then the werewolf still wins. Conversely, if the werewolf does a really great job distracting everybody and asking bad questions, well, if they're really obvious about it and the village team doesn't get the right word, they can say, okay, well, we think you were the werewolf, and if they're right, then they win. So it's just a really fun go-to game. We've been playing it for years, and it's great for family gatherings. We really enjoy it. The other game I'd like to mention, I think is a bit of a hidden gem because I never hear people talk about this one, and we thoroughly enjoy it. It is Monster My Neighbor. It's by the same company that publishes Love Letter, Z-Man Games, and to me, it feels like a slightly more strategic version of Love Letter, but about at the same difficulty level. In this, it's just a card game, and you play a few rounds. There's 5 different monsters, and each round you're trying to end with either, if you have the monster in your hand, you want to be able to play them in the final round, and then you score points, or you're trying to catch the monster before it gets to the final round. And that's the entire game. And the trick is you only have 4 cards per round. It is quick. It is quick. Each turn is pretty strategic in what's going on. And I don't know if what deters people is the theme is like a Korean manga theme, which I thoroughly enjoy because the monsters are so interesting in this game. They all have slightly different abilities, but you have a mermaid, you have a mandrake, vampire, werewolf, and a gumiho, which I had to look up. It is it's in traditional Korean folklore, and it's a 9-tailed fox that will turn into a beautiful woman in order to devour men's energy, which is really fun culture to throw into the mix. But all of the monsters do slightly different things, so each round you don't know which monster is in the mix, and that can vary what you do because they have one monster. If you play a hunter card, the first time that's played on the monster, they get to say, oh no, I'm not the monster. And you just don't know until you play it. You go, maybe it's this monster that has this ability. You just don't know. The thing that also seems to be kind of a sticking point for some people is some people really don't like a lot of luck in their games. And this has a few cards that allow you to shuffle cards around, sometimes randomly, sometimes you're passing to the player to your left or right, and there's fog, rumor, or gossip cards. I enjoy those cards because I feel like I'm still able to use them strategically, especially if I have the monster. I can choose to keep it if I think I'm going to make it till the end and be able to play it and get some good points, or you can pass it around and see what happens when somebody is given the monster. But again, you don't have to do anything tricky. You just have to try to have a poker face if you're given the monster card. That's the only thing that you're required to do in order to be successful at the level of lying or deceit required in this game. But it's fun, light. If you're looking for a light and fun social deduction game that everyone can enjoy, this is a really excellent choice. So that's it for me today. You can check out my YouTube channel or website if you want to see more of my content. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and back to the folks in the studio.
That food looks good. I could eat that right
A
now.
quick top 3 today.
You wouldn't eat turkey.
I'm hungry.
A quick
Okay.
top 3.
I'm going quick.
We're just talking about games that we saw interesting at GenCon. Obviously, we don't know if they're good or not yet.
Right.
So let's
I
just-
do. I mean,
Oh, you played yours. Okay. Well, I don't know nothing
one
about.
of them. 2 of them.
Let's find out. Joey, you're first.
Mine, bonsai. Just by seeing it on the table, knew very little about it, except I did unbox it. It'll be on the channel, and the components are great. It's one of those, again, I'm going in dark, but it looks really good on the table. It looks very unique, and you're building a bonsai tree. First of all, I didn't know there were that many types of bonsai trees in there after looking through there. I'm like, that's incredible.
thought
There are some that have
bonsai was
fruit.
the type. I
Didn't know
realize
that. But yeah, so bonsai for me is one that I'm really looking forward to having hit the table.
All right, Z.
I'm going with one that I know was there for the first time, but it's a game we've played here. That's Ancient Knowledge. They had it over at Yellow. They had the boxes available there.
Was it there? I didn't
Yeah,
even.
it
I
was
didn't hear
there.
nothing
Yeah.
about this.
I know, and it's weird. I wonder if it got the buzz it was gonna get, and then it didn't come out for too long. You know what I mean? But it was there. They had stacks of it. It's a great card game. I definitely a few people who came up to me at the booth and were like, "Hey, what have you seen you like? What do you recommend?" I'd be like, "Try Ancient Knowledge. It doesn't seem to be getting a lot of love, and I like it a lot. If you like things like Race for the Galaxy or card games like that with a lot of combos, that's one I recommend. I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's my 3.
All right.
My number 3 is Legends of Andor: Eternal Frost. I was really excited about this game when I saw it for the first time there, like in person. I really have enjoyed the Legends of Andor recently, and just have a new one. I love the look of it, the ice, the frosted wasteland kind of look to it. I'm really excited to delve into that one some.
Number 2.
You didn't do one?
You did
I
three.
didn't do it.
What?
Good.
What?
What?
No.
I didn't want to.
Name
No,
one.
he's lying.
Name
He
one.
said
Something's-
something's
oh, hold on.
something's
No,
coming.
No, no, no,
Do it.
no, no,
Something's
no.
happening.
I,
He's lying.
Name 3.
no, I
I
just
don't
figured you
trust
guys
you.
would. No.
Do
Lying.
it. Give me
You-
a 3.
no.
Give me 3. I'm going to wait.
It's your number 2. Go ahead.
Fine. Number 2, mine would be Lost Ruins of Arnak, Missing Expeditions. Lost Ruins is one of those games I can have as many things as they throw out. And even if it was just characters, I would be excited about it as well, because I love those asymmetric characters. But having that campaign in there, even if it's only 2 players, I think that sounds incredible.
Oh,
for
that's what's
this.
in the expansion? A
Yeah.
2-player campaign?
Yeah, so it sounds really good. And again, characters alone are going to be enough for me to be
Weren't
excited
characters in
about
the first one?
Yeah, but I want more.
The first expansion.
Ah.
I want
never
all
played
of
the
them.
first expansion. I got to get
Really?
around to
Oh,
that.
good.
it's good.
It's a must
Yeah.
for Lost Ruins.
All right, my number 2 is one I made before I actually played the game yesterday, but it's Larkana. Was my number 2. I was very excited to check it out, and even though, like you said, it kind of turned you off that people were going crazy, that the whole thing was sort of, chaotically handled, to say the least, on the first day especially. That doesn't hurt the game for me. I don't, again, could Ravensburger have done things differently and GenCon? Yes. Doesn't affect the game for me.
Got it.
So I'm not going to go into detail whether I liked it or not, because like I said, I got to play it a little bit yesterday, but I was very much looking forward to trying the game out, to seeing it, to looking through it, to just kind of digging into a new high-profile trading card game. When was the last time we got one of those? Flesh and Blood? I mean, maybe.
But we didn't see the debut of that. The closest to that would have been Android Netrunner.
Yeah,
When
it's
that
been
came
a
out.
long time since we've had
Yeah.
and that was a living card game, which is a little different. But a trading card game coming out of the door saying, no, we have the money to support this for years. Don't
That's
worry,
true.
we don't really need, there's no need for our release schedule to be like a Rolling Thunder release because we need the money. We got it. I really am excited
Yeah.
about that. A company that is saying they're putting money behind it, and they have the money to, and the knowledge to do so.
They
so
have the legs to keep going.
yeah, so Larkana.
I am Spider-Geddon for the Marvel United. I
Nah.
am so excited
Flip.
about this.
Flip.
Flip! I
Definitely one
love
of
the
the most
Spider-Verse.
run-for games.
Right. I love the Spider-Verse. It's probably my favorite superhero MCU. What do you call it? My trope. I don't know. I like the Spider-Verse a lot.
No,
And
that's fine. That's just,
I don't know what you call it. I don't know the words
Correct
for
her,
these
please.
things.
I'm
What is
not.
this thing
It's fine.
called? This interworld of spiders. I like it a lot.
Okay, never mind. I'm taking my being okay with it. Just say the Spider-Verse. You're done.
I love the Spider-Verse. I love Spider Noir. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to have my hands on this and take it out and look at all of them. Oh, there's that one that has the big spider things coming out of him. Who I don't know his name, but he looks what? Superior Spider. He looks so cool. So yeah.
So let me tell you about Superior Spider.
No, you didn't do a list. You don't get to say anything.
Oh, he did a
I'm
list.
so excited about Spider-Geddon.
He's just not telling
I'm
us.
Really,
All
I
right,
think
my
it's-
number 1 is Marvel United Spider-Geddon. I'm that excited about it. I mean, I think Punk Spider and Spider-Man Noir. I mean, all
Noir.
those. And again, watching the movie, timing it right after the movie was that good, then going into the box, that's what got me excited about it. Because before the movie, I would have been like, I don't really care. But now, I would have gotten
The
it,
first
obviously.
movie was like 3
That's
years
true. I
ago.
didn't-
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but a lot of the characters in that box are from the second movie, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Like, I knew who Spot was, But I was like,
He was a
that-
very.
I actually
he
spent-
is a very minor character that they put in the movie and immediately put in that game.
I actually spent some time really wondering
They knew
how
that.
much collaboration is like, hey, these will be in the movie, so put them in your game.
100%.
absolutely.
And
I
no
asked that
flapping
question.
lips.
You spent way too much time
I
wondering
asked that
about
question,
that.
and there was
The
a lot of
answer's clear.
harumphing and eye winking.
But the fact that they didn't like leak any of that, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, my
better.
number 1 is also Spider-Geddon. So we have a 3-way crossover here.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
awesome.
4-way.
I think they knocked it
Sometimes.
out of the park with what they
It's-
put in there. I've looked through it now, and it's a very interesting core box. That you can
Looks
use as a
good.
core box or mix. It's a very interesting core box.
I'm so glad they did it that way too. I think that was a really
Yeah,
good move.
yeah.
My number 1 is the Missing Expeditions, Lost Ruins of Arnak. I think I really like that they honed in and on just making a 2-player expansion here. So it's a 2-player cooperative, but they took the time and actually like delayed the release of this to make sure that all the cards you got in it works in the base game. So you either have access to those cards through the campaign, or you mix it in and it just beefs up the base game that you already have if you don't want to play a 2-player cooperative. It just gives you more of the goodies that you like. I love that. I love it. I'm so excited to delve into this, and yeah, super excited. Looks so
Alrighty,
good.
that's top 3 games from GenCon. We'll be right back with more talk about GenCon.
Spider-Geddon. Well done, Garcia.
All right, let's talk. Now we're just going to do some chatting about GenCon and our thoughts on it. We already talked about Larkana. We already talked about the huge crowds, but I do want to emphasize again, it's the most crowded I've ever seen it.
Yep.
And I will say a couple of very positive things, though. I don't always agree with how GenCon runs their con and things, but they did a couple things that were really cool this year. One, and this only affected you, well, I thought it was really cool. In the hallway between the stadium and the thing, they had pinball machines. set
So
up.
good.
And they were like top tier pinball machines. Not older ones. Older ones are fine. I know people love them. But they had like brand new ones in
And they
there.
were full. Like, I mean,
There was
people-
always people playing them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And the card system, getting the card, people go back. If you have time, go and just play a couple games.
Yeah, that was neat. I wish I had bought one earlier
Same
and
here.
then played a game when I passed by.
Yeah, that was great.
So and then they moved the food trucks.
Did you like that?
I did,
Yes.
I
Okay.
did too. I liked the area when you got there. It was a bit further away, but there seemed to be more space.
There wasn't seem to be nothing. There
Okay,
was
there
way
was
more
more space.
space.
I think it's because
Yeah,
it
you
went
idiot.
more square rather than that long like tunnel kind of setup, and so yeah, I think it definitely felt a lot more open.
It also helped for those of us who in the hotels in that area, not having that street packed
Yes,
full.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Definitely freed that up. That street,
Yeah.
like if you just were walking down that street,
Right. It was.
you
it was a
could
mess.
not. They moved it over there. There was more food trucks, probably twice as many. I felt.
Oh really? Okay.
Lots of space to eat. It was really easy to find a seat to sit down and eat, and you could also go right into the stadium and eat. And I think it attracted people to then go into the stadium since it was right
Right.
there.
That was a big thing too.
I didn't like that the train was right there. I feel like conversation halted every time the train went by.
Oh,
Were you not there during train time?
No, and I was there for hours. I didn't hear the train
Really?
away. Either way, I liked it. The food trucks are so expensive.
Oh, I forget about that every year. How expensive they are. It's like, oof.
Well, the one place we went to, I'm like, this isn't so expensive. Then we
No.
got our portions, and I was like, oh. But we
Yeah.
did eat.
That was nasty.
We ate it. You didn't. We had a Sonic the Hedgehog hot dog that was blue.
Why?
They dipped it in
Because it
blue,
was sold, so we had
blue
to get it.
Kool-Aid to dye it. And yeah, I bet you're wondering,
Wait, you
could you
dyed
taste the
a
Kool-Aid?
hot dog with Kool-Aid?
I didn't do it. They did. I just bought it.
That has a taste
You
to
ate it. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I hate it. I didn't dye it. I'm like,
So
no.
it's a Kool-Aid flavored hot dog.
I bet you're wondering if you can taste the Kool-Aid. Good.
Yeah, you can.
But there's enough chili on there to
They
counter
put
that.
a lot of chili on it. It was delicious, actually.
was-
I don't know that I would.
Seek it out?
Well, here's the thing. We bought it, and when it came, I was like, I'm glad I know what this is, because it looked like the hot
Rancid.
dog had just.
Gone
What did it look like You know what? Never mind.
It
I
was
think
rough.
we got video of it. You'll see.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Oh.
It's
Oof.
awful.
Hey,
Why, guys?
No.
because it exists.
Because we could, right?
And I had to walk past it, then we saw it. We thought, well, we got to get
well,
this.
I guess so. Yeah, toddlers.
Oof.
Hey, man, we had a blue hot dog. I'm okay with that.
I know, right?
I'm okay with that.
Who else need a blue hot dog?
Okay,
Diana.
well, your innards are thanking you today.
Diana, that sounds like a pregnancy thing.
I'm sure hoping the blue hot dog has escaped my innards by now. It's been a week.
You don't know
tell?
what was in that Kool-Aid.
Pretty
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you would be.
It was.
Keep it classy, America.
Oh, wow. Whenever someone does something other people don't like. We don't put gravy all over our fries.
Oh,
Anyhow,
Yeah, Canada.
I would. Oh.
we would, though, right?
Yeah, I totally
He's
would.
like, however, if I was
They
in
had
Canada.
Kool-Aid
It's one of the best
dye in
ideas
it.
they've had.
Yeah.
Now, I like the carpet. Everybody embracing the carpet thing. People had carpet shirts. Did you see that? The carpet
What?
I did
patterns?
not.
It's crazy how big this whole GenCon carpet thing is.
They carpeted last year.
No,
not
No,
new.
outside the carpet's different or
they
whatever.
changed the carpet. People have gone crazy about missing this carpet. People put the pattern on shirts.
I think you
and
might be overestimating
Oh, no.
the craziness that...
It's
like
crazy.
maybe 20 people. Come on
I've never
now.
heard about
20.
this.
20
20,000.
too many.
20,000.
honestly, to be fair.
Oh.
So, one thing I really thought was amazing this year was the balloon sculpture.
That was
That
He
was
did a good
the
job.
best I've
neat.
ever seen.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. They really, and it was done early too. That's the thing, because normally it's like they're working on it and they're working on it, and near like on the third day or whatever, you're like, oh, finally the dragon's coming together, and then you get to enjoy it that day, and then they break it or
dust
whatever.
it.
This one on like day 1 or 2, I was like, oh, it's like almost done.
He said he was doing this lunar lander, right? And I knew before he was going to do it. He's like, look, I told GenCon I could do a dragon again, I could do this, or I've always wanted to do a full-size lunar lander. And GenCon is like, well, let's do that. I mean, I'm like, how
That's
does
cool.
it
That's
fit
trusting,
into
though.
gaming? But it looked awesome.
Space, man.
Space
Incredible.
always fits.
It was awesome.
It was
I'm
really
so
good.
glad they gave that guy the green light to do that. It
Yeah.
was great.
Did you see anybody in the suit?
No, somebody
Yeah.
else said
I
somebody
never
was in
got
the
to
suit.
see him
That was
getting
hilarious.
anybody. I'm
I'm-
so mad.
He almost got me. I was just standing there. I was like, that guy's moving. You know?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I
Somebody,
didn't
I didn't know
either.
that. Oh,
Oh.
that's awesome.
I wonder how long it takes to get in the suit.
Or how hot it is.
Oh my god.
Balloon. I
Totally
don't know.
worth that, like, 10 seconds.
I didn't know
of
that
getting-
until I
you
saw
sit
it
there for
online.
5
Somebody
minutes
said somebody was in
for
there.
that
I thought,
10
that's
second
awesome.
Feedback.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
totally worth it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that was really cool. And
I
I mean,
agree.
there was sights and sounds. Game One Games did a good job with their booth. They had a
They
little
did.
castle. Upper Deck had a huge booth, and I still don't know what it was for.
Did you guys see the little
Oh yeah. That like double that 2-story one,
which
right?
upper deck?
No, that was eBay, right? The 2-story thing is eBay.
No, eBay built
The
a
dragon.
two-story also in the back with
the
the dragon
castle
on
thing.
it.
Yeah,
Upper
yeah.
But
Deck.
Upper Deck had a 2-story. They were advertising their new Boys Versus thing.
I love the translucent. How there was like no
Whoa,
statue
whoa.
there. I just thought
Yeah,
that
I
was
haven't seen that.
fantastic.
Yeah, they had the cast of the Voight Industries or whatever, and they had
Yes.
the whole
Yeah.
cast. That was
One
pretty
thing,
cool.
every year the stuff I didn't see, I saw pictures of some sort of looked like the hat from He-Man or something, like a puppet that you'd walk by and talk to or whatever. I saw somebody had, I don't know, there were so many booths I did not get to see this year.
the
was
crowd
hard.
was a real thing.
It
It really was, and
something.
because I always came in down near kind of where the demo tables are. I don't think I saw like the early number booths, like the 1
No.
to 300, unless I was going over there for a meeting or something. I definitely feel like I missed a whole third of the hall because I couldn't get over there half the time.
I do miss the Exploding Kittens one they used to have, but that crowd would have been crazy this year. I'm kind of glad they didn't
Well,
have it.
Doomwings had a thing. They had this big spinning wheel, like a Wheel of
Oh, did
Fortune
they?
thing. It
I
was
didn't
really
see that
nice
one.
too, with lights and stuff. There was a line for that. And speaking of lines, there was a lot of lines in the hall at various points.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Larkana was the biggest,
Yeah.
but Spider-Geddon, I think
Yes.
the line wrapped around the booth multiple times. On
Funko.
day one only, the World Wonders sold out. There was
Yes.
500 copies. I didn't expect them to all go
yeah.
day one.
They didn't either, I don't think.
People ran for Last Light.
Yes.
What else was selling that was hot? You said the Funko? the Star
Funkoverse,
Wars thing?
no,
They had
They
the.
had some promo figures.
They
didn't
also had the Santa versus
Really?
Krampus
Oh,
thing.
they
I know
did have that?
sold out
Yeah.
each day.
Yeah.
And the Funkoverse, the Nightmare Before Christmas one, Lock, Stock, and whatever, those
There,
are
yeah.
mine every morning.
Oh,
really?
I didn't realize those were even there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. See,
I didn't
that's
know
one
that
thing I wish I
either.
My
bought
wife was in that line.
the Star Wars Rivals one. I didn't know that they
Yes.
had it there, and
I didn't either.
didn't catch it, and that they had promo figures, I guess, and I
They
didn't
did.
see that. Plus,
I
what
think
Tom's
that they did.
saying.
I thought that's what I heard.
Oh, that would have been cool. I like
Wow.
that one.
Oh, yeah, the airplane game with the 2 co-pilots. That
Spy
was pretty
Team?
hot.
Is that Spy Team? Is that what Mike's talking about?
Spy Team? That's a
No.
weird name for an
Sky,
airplane.
Sky Team.
Sky
Oh,
Team.
Team.
Spy Team's a very different game, I think.
Yes,
I was
Sky
like, I don't
Team
know.
did always have a line, yes, and they sold out.
And
There's a lot of lines.
yeah, and it was a weird thing because of the way the hall's set up. Unfortunately, the bigger booths were emptier because they would have like a hallway with like just a
Right.
wall or a big open area where a few people are playing games. While a smaller booth, it was so packed there because people are looking at both sides and then just stopping dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
a lot of stopping.
I still have a great time at GenCon, but this definitely impacted my enjoyment a little.
Yeah.
Just going through that hall sometimes.
It was very slow for sure to get anywhere. Somebody was talking about them having demos for Star Wars Unlimited, which is a new trading card game now coming out from Fantasy Flight Games. I
Wow.
didn't get to play it. I did hear from, I forget who, but somebody told me that they tried it out and they were like, it's kind of like Larkana. I'm like, oh, okay. So
We
I
talked
guess
to
we'll
the
wait and
designers for a
see.
bit,
Yeah.
All right.
but they didn't explain.
I am curious. I really like the look of the game. I like the artwork of it. So we'll see on that one. It's very interesting to have two new trading card games coming out, though, pretty close together, that are big profile ones.
I don't think the Star Wars one will be as big of a deal. I might be wrong.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. But
We'll see. But lots of events. It seemed like there was fewer costumes this year.
I feel like that too. I did not see as much cosplay.
I mean, more than last year, but not more than pre-COVID, I don't think.
there were plenty. There were definitely plenty of backpacks worn on the back.
Definitely
can we,
were.
like,
Cubic,
stop?
But they're getting
cubic.
larger.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
There
That's,
was a lot of that. There was a lot of
Yes,
that.
I
they
definitely
did the
got
cosplay parade.
backpack checked multiple times.
Yeah, if you're wearing a backpack, you got to be careful when you're swinging it around.
Just be aware. Right.
There's a lot of people who got hit by those or bumped by them.
Yeah.
There was a lot of publishers there in general, though. If you did want to see a diverse amount of games, so many games.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like a tsunami of games.
Yeah.
And a lot of these games I ignored in a sense that, we already have that at the studio. We got some games early. And I still felt overwhelmed. I can't
Yes.
imagine having going in there like completely new to everything.
Especially if you
There's
go
so many games.
unprepared, like, I'm just going to walk around and see what I see. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I went in with a list and I felt unprepared.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like just
it was-
going in blind. Yeah, you got to do a little homework to not feel fully overwhelmed.
Right, I agree.
We had a lot of fun with our show. That went
The show
well.
went
We
great.
appreciate everybody who came to that.
That was fun.
Good energy there too at the show. I mean, people really into it.
Above Board was there doing shows,
Yep.
Yeah.
showing off their new channel. There was a lot of seminars and things. Didn't get to go to almost any of them, but I know they existed. There's parties. I mean, GenCon never stops, and it was definitely a different vibe from last year. Because there still was a masks last year. This was just a completely different vibe. Last year felt like at 10 o'clock, GenCon was done.
Right. I
Here it
agree.
was just like, never stopping.
Right.
And the gaming seemed to be back in all areas, hallway, the exhibit hall, everywhere. Yeah.
Speaking of Larkana, though, did you see anyone playing it?
No, I saw a picture of somebody playing it in line, supposedly, which I don't know. But I saw no one actually playing it there.
I went to Board Game Geek to see what people were ranking it. There's like 20 ratings. Most of them are like talking about the game and not talking about the outside stuff, not the game itself.
I wonder if they're
Really?
like kind of scared to open it at this point, just like trying to see what this buzz
It's
is
a
going to become.
gameplay.
No, I get that. I think the whole thing's stupid. I mean,
Which game?
Lorcana. But
Yeah.
I think that they are probably just kind of holding out to see what's going to become of it because of this stupid craze.
Oh, yeah, sea salt and pepper sold out really quick every day,
It
too.
did.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Forbidden Forest. I forgot about that
Forbidden,
one
yeah,
too.
did you
That
see people
was
playing
another-
that? I saw a
yeah.
couple people that had it.
didn't.
I didn't
Huh?
see it getting played.
Jungle.
Jungle.
Jungle. Sorry.
Yeah, there was.
That's what we didn't get yet, unfortunately. They told me it was in the mail, and I got here and it was not.
Oh no,
Oh.
somebody got one. I thought.
I know that Eric bought one.
Did
I
it?
think bought one. I don't know.
Okay.
Or got one.
I really
don't
thought
know.
that we
He
got
had it.
one here.
I tried to steal it, but he wouldn't
You got to work on your sneaky.
go to sleep.
So you're sitting there, what you doing? Just waiting.
Just waiting. Are you sleepy yet?
Take
another drink.
No, he
Petting his hair.
no, he went and played at one of the evenings there, and then came back and told me a little bit about it because I was like, "Oh, what you think? What you think?" He said it ended pretty quickly. They did not do well.
Okay.
But he said he thought it was interesting. So
Probably better than Sky.
that's all. Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping it kind of feels like it's in line with the first two.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. I think it will be.
So it's a good one though.
Legacy
it was a good
was
year, I thought.
It was
Not out
a
of
lot
GenCon.
lot of good stuff.
I think they
was
had
a
like a
good GenCon.
one-phase demo there.
Yeah, anyone who says no good games came out, I'm sorry.
So many good games.
There's a game for everybody at this point.
Right.
All
Yeah.
kinds of different games, party games onward. So
That Blob Party looked interesting. Didn't get a chance to play it, but
I heard about that, but
Which one?
I finally went by the booth and it was sold out.
yeah, same here.
Block party?
Blob.
Blob.
Yeah, you just kind of
Blob.
want to get the
I
same.
love that
Sounds like
word.
medium with clay. If you keep
Oh.
you keep like you get two words, and then everybody says a word, and if you say the right one, you push your blobs together, and at the end, you're wanting to get one big.
What?
Yeah, it really sounded like it
I'm
was a
getting
medium
more
type.
Did
of
you ever
game.
play
Confused.
blob tag when you were a kid?
No.
That's like where you pair up and you're all, two people holding hands, and
Gross.
and there's like a few.
Before COVID.
Oh.
Yes. No, and then you ran around. And every time you caught a kid, they would join the blob, and then you kept running.
But
Yeah.
you get
But then
slower.
I did, yeah,
You got
that-
slower,
Why?
right?
You
You
get
know,
slower.
you wouldn't want to incorporate the chubby kid into the blob.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
your line
So
got
later.
longer, and when you got to a certain size, then you could
You know what I mean?
split.
And you start dragging people around.
That and sardines, those two are
It's
the ones
awful. I
we
did
used to
do
get.
I don't know
sardines.
that. I don't know that game. I never
I
heard
love
of it.
sardines.
It was fun, man, as a kid.
That's weird. I don't know.
I don't think I saw that game at GenCon.
Yeah. Oh man, no, I saw it every day in the hall.
You didn't get to see too much running because there's nowhere to run.
That's true.
Oh.
There was a little bit of running when they first opened their doors, and people were like,
Oh my god.
"I'm not running." You know, doing that
Oh, I
whole
love
thing.
Some people just didn't care. They're like, I'm running.
Yeah.
The Olympic speed walking.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, most of them get the training at Gen Con.
They do. They do.
That's what I read. All right. Also, I noticed more role playing stuff this year than normal.
I did
It
too,
does
and
seem
some I
like-
was interested in. I saw you got a book on some RPG
I
thing.
got the Marvel one because that
Yeah.
interested me.
I will say that was one of my biggest takeaways from Gen Con is I wish I was into role playing and RPGs.
They get the fun
because,
toys.
Gosh, they look so cool. Like I love the worlds that they create.
Yes.
Almost every game that I saw that I hadn't heard about, I was like, oh, that looks
Like, if
really
you saw
cool.
the
And I pulled
artwork.
in, I was like, oh, it's an RPG. I need
Yeah.
to like RPGs. I need to play an RPG.
You're going to.
Am I?
Speaking of,
Oh yes, you
well,
are.
we're doing one. Yeah.
Do I get to be
Next year's stretch
Berserker?
goal is a LARP.
Speaking of good artwork, though, the artist alley, which I'm assuming you walked through,
Yeah.
and maybe got something.
Got a dragon.
It
Maybe.
was.
I got
it
two.
was very high quality this year. I
It was
thought there
really
were
nice.
no dud booths.
And it's like a
Again,
huge
and I know it's all
spectrum.
subjective, and
Right.
everything, and then yeah, there's a spectrum there. But man, it makes you going to Gen Con versus going to a smaller convention that has a few artists show up. You really do notice, like, everybody in here is cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Really
every one
good.
of these booths, these people are top of their game. You know what I mean?
And
It
it's
was
like
amazing.
It's like Tom, you were saying you can't say no good games came out. There's something there for everybody, just with the vastness of what came out. I feel like that's how it was with the artists. They were all top notch, and there's a style for everybody
Yes,
there.
yes.
It was.
Yes.
I mean, I saw one. I'm like, this isn't my style, but I can tell that is fantastic artwork. It's just
Yeah.
not my style.
It was like
you
six
know?
that were my style. I struggled to
I
narrow it
really.
down to
That's
one.
I think I spent the most amount of time in the artist alley.
still want a dragon.
I'll
love
show you
it.
guys when it comes.
Love it.
I ordered one that they're shipping it. I thought, it's better than putting it in the van.
Okay.
We'll see. You might not like it, but I like it. Alrighty, well, folks, that's our thoughts on Gen Con and Blob Tag and Larkana and everything else.
Sardines.
Later on today, Pirates and Ninjas. The top games for those.
Oh my.
Ooh.
We'll see you then. Until then, I'm Tom Basil.
I'm Joy Evans.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun. Go to Gen Con next year.
No
Dice
running.
Tower West.
Oh yes.
Welcome to the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular.